My dad worked at Pizza Hut at 17. I worked at Chipotle. We both knew what it meant to show up and trade hours for dollars, and neither of us complained about it. But at some point, my dad figured something out that most people never do. And he taught it to me while we were doing interior design work at a millionaire's house. One of his later jobs taught me something unusual about money. You can work 40 hours a week for $8 an hour, or make $500 in a single hour. With his interior design work, one consultation could bring in $500, sometimes more. Same person, same time. Completely different math. The difference was leverage. So the real question is, how can you stop selling hours like everyone else? Here's what I actually took from all of it. There is a huge difference between trading time and deploying leverage. An employee sells hours, a business owner sells outcomes. An investor deploys capital and earns while they sleep. Most people are stuck in the first category, and that's because nobody ever showed them the other two exist. Robert Kiyosaki calls it the 4 quadrants: employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. You will see that the first 2 cap your income at time. The last 2 don't. Know which quadrant you're operating in. Everyone has a skill they can leverage. My dad took a skill, something he could do better than most people, and instead of selling his time to an employer, he sold the outcome directly to someone who needed it. And someone who needed interior design work for their $4 million house didn't negotiate over $500. So what can you do that someone else needs done and doesn't want to figure out themselves? That gap between what you know and what they need is where leverage lives. Value and time are not the same thing. The client at that house didn't care whether the work took 1 hour or 3 hours. They cared that it was done well. And so, the moment you start pricing based on outcomes instead of hours, your income stops being a function of your calendar. An hour of your time has a cap, but the value of what you deliver doesn't. Proximity creates opportunity. My dad and I would walk into those houses and talk to the people who live there. Ask questions. Be genuinely curious about how they thought about money, how they made decisions, what they paid attention to. Most of them didn't work for anyone. They owned things. They invested in things. And they were almost always willing to talk about it if you asked the right way. The information that changes your life is in a conversation you had the courage to start with someone who's already where you want to be. Most people never question the model they're operating in. They just work harder inside a structure that was never designed to make them wealthy. My 20s didn't come with a manual, so I made one. If that's useful to you, stick around. See you in the next one.